They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life.
Cooling inflation does not mean your cost of living is safe.
Paging Captain Obvious. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics confirming what anybody with eyeballs knows. Prices are too damn high. Talking specifically about what's known as headline inflation, how much consumer prices last month grew versus the May of 2025. That number, 4.2%, the highest increase in 3 years. Now, as you might expect, industries that are directly impacted by what's happening in the Middle East are seeing the highest increases in prices. Fuel oil, 59%, gasoline, 41%, airline tickets, 27%.
I've seen the prices of gas. They definitely went up. And if you're someone who travels like me, as often as I travel, you've definitely noticed that plane tickets have gone up.
We're starting to see some of the downstream impacts too. Meats, fruits and vegetables, things that require refrigeration or transportation, up somewhere between 6 and 8%.
And the things that you used to buy with $100 a few years ago, you can barely buy half. Prices are crazy.
Vehicle maintenance up 6%, even hospital services up close to 6%. Prices are really rising across the board. Meanwhile, if you feel like you're not making enough money to keep up with these price increases, well, the data says you're right. A Bureau of Labor Statistics report last week also showing that wage increases, how much the average hourly worker's take-home pay is increasing year over year, only up about 3.4% in May versus May of 2025. But as we were just talking about, inflation is up 4.2%. In effect now, all of the wage increases that Americans have seen under the Trump administration's second term have essentially been erased as a result of inflation. So what is the White House saying about it? A spokesman describing today's report as, quote, at expectation. And that's true. Economists did expect a pretty high inflation report, and they got a pretty high inflation report. Also saying that there are, quote, temporary disruptions due to the war in Iran, but suggesting that the president's broader economic policies are working for Americans. President Trump, speaking in the Oval Office, said that any price increases were worth it to ensure that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon.
And it was worth it. But they didn't even have nuclear weapons. They already signed a deal like 2-3 administrations ago. What I think happened is just greed. They wanted to go in there and get the oil. Every previous president knew that it was a bad idea to attack Iran. The last few wars, we already lost trying to get some oil. And if we didn't lose, we lost a lot of veterans. Everybody knew Iran was a bad idea based on information, data, how their land is structured. But for some reason, Trump decided to go to war with them. I think it's because, and this is my opinion, I don't know. I think it's because of Israel. They were trying to claim land around that area. They wanted to get rid of Iran because that was the next superpower. Every other nation or most of the nations around there are destabilized. They, Israel, wanted to use America and its might to attack Iran. But this is a whole nother conversation.
It was worth it. To me, it was worth it not to have a nuclear weapon.
And just to add to it, I also think it has to do with whatever it is they have in the Epstein file. And I think they were able to hold a lot of members in governments by the balls and tell them, hey, we're doing this or this is coming out. Which one do you want? And a lot of people are scared. You know, they're scared of what it's going to do to their legacy, their income, their family, and whatever else.
But economists we've spoken with are concerned, not just about this big inflation number, but what it means for everyday Americans' financial well-being. Despite these rising costs, Americans by and large are still spending a lot, and that means dipping into their savings, even tacking on credit card debt in order to pay their bills.
We're continuing to see consumers spending at the same rate that they have been before, but at the same time that prices are rising and real incomes are falling as a result of inflation. And ultimately, that's not sustainable.
In the meantime, economists suggesting you save a little bit more if you can. There's no telling how long this war will last and how long elevated prices will stick around.
Because inflation is a broad number, it measures prices across the economy. But real life is not a spreadsheet. Your real life is gas, groceries, rent, flights, vacations, deliveries, utilities, car, maintenance, and everything else you spend money on. And one thing can quietly touch almost all of that: oil. And we all know, as we all heard, what America is doing to Iran and how that is affecting the Strait of Hormuz. Oil affects transportation. Transportation affects groceries. Oil affects airlines. Oil affects shipping. Oil affects manufacturing. Oil affects the cost of moving products from one place to another. So even if inflation is cooling, if oil starts rising again, your lifestyle can still get more expensive. That means the grocery store feels it. The airline feels it. The delivery company feels it. The manufacturer feels it. And eventually, you are going to feel it. Richbrook is thinking inflation is over just because the headline number looks better. Be careful. One commodity can quietly raise your entire lifestyle. But hey, in future videos, I'm going to break down how oil prices can affect your rent, mortgage, groceries, investments, and everyday money. But tell me in the comments, what's become noticeably more expensive for you this year due to the war in Iran, the increased prices of oil, which in turn is affecting inflation? Peace.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip of Rich Broke by Benny Beckrow, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe.